Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square, Santa Rosa, California. And welcome everybody to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine. We've got Dave Batt in the house.
I am.
And it was sizzling here the other day. I'm thinking I am jinxing the weather. It was smoking hot on Monday. I went late in fact, when I closed the tasting room at, I don't know, 9 o'clock, I went home and jumped in the pool, and it was freaking hot. It was hot
Almost 90, was it? About 90?
Yeah, it was smoking hot all night. And so then, no, that was on Sunday. That's right. Sunday was the hot day. So then yesterday I said, I need to make sangria time. So I made sangria. Now this is the second time I've done it this year. And I put it all together. It has to go overnight. We'll talk about the recipe, and it's really simple. But it's fun to make, and it's great for summertime. And so sure enough, I was messing with the batch earlier today. And then by the time I came over here, it got cold. I mean, it was cold out. The wind was blowing, and it was like, now you people in the Midwest and East Coast don't laugh, but I mean, it was like, it went from like 85 down to 65. I mean, it was downright.
Get some port. We're changing to port. No.
And I have my shorts on. I'm ready to go. I want my summer, and I'm just really ticked off. So don't get me started.
All right.
Because So everything that we're going to talk about, except for the very last wine, is all about summer, because in the summertime, one sangria is very cool to have, and you don't have to make it sweet. I don't make it super sweet. I make it pleasant. And we'll talk about how you make it and what you can do with it and how long it'll last, because we've tested it out here for some extended times. Yeah. And we're going to taste a dry Moscato. That's from La Serena Wines, and we'll talk about that. A Grenache Blanc, which is another varietal you don't see a whole lot, and then 3 rosés that are a little different, each one. And then we're going to roll the dice for a big red. And Andrew picked some cool big reds, and so whatever the roll is there, that's what we're going to taste. But there is a pirate in there. I see that.
I can see it from here.
Yeah. So. Yeah, well, you can't. Yeah, right. You want to know the numbers in advance. Yeah, no, ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Also, we'll show the slide later. We'll talk a little bit about Lobster Lunch coming up on Saturday. Tickets are still available. The cutoff is tomorrow. You got to make your decision. You got to let me know. You're better off calling to make your reservation for Lobster Lunch, and so you can do that, and that's going to be very fun.
Sounds like.
And and then we'll got a new musician coming in on Thursday. That's going to be great. The weather, if you're visiting, is going to be pretty nice, but today just got a little cool, and I'm not happy. So at the end of the show, we'll taste and talk about the sangria, because it's kind of fun to, I enjoy making it, actually.
It's a good way to wrap up.
Yeah. So let's get started with the first wine, which this is unusual. Tell us the Moscato historically is sweet. Why is this not sweet? What's going on?
Well, Moscato, its presentation of what the wine is typically runs toward the sweet side. You can make it sweeter on purpose, but it is a really fruity wine to start with, and that's just its nature. So to make dry Moscato, you want to make sure you've taken all the sugar out, so you're very careful to not leave some of that sweetness in. And in some cases, We'll even sneak some of the juice back in before it's been vinified, so you've got a combination of the juice itself plus the wine. And that is where you even add more sweetness, but none of that's going on. We're taking she's taking the fruit as it comes, totally vinifying 100%, so all the sugar's gone now, and it's really presenting well. It's a very classy presentation.
Yeah, it's not what you expect, and this fits a couple different camps. You know, the people that come in and they typically want a sweeter wine, this will satisfy them in a way because in the nose, it's quite floral and it's quite fruity. So in their mind, they think they're getting a sweet wine when in fact they got a dry wine, but they're satisfied because you told your brain you're about to get something sweet. So,
and really, you know, the whole nose tends to play into your belief of what you're tasting too. So it's a little bit of a combination of your mind telling you it's sweet, and you feel that fruitiness coming through.
Yeah.
And then actually tasting it.
Yeah. Then you're loving life. Hi there. How are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Just came by to pick up the wine.
Andrew will take care of you.
Whoa,
Just take that tag out of there, Andy. Yeah, that's it. It's all rang up, all done, all paid for. Life is good.
I just dubbed wine on myself, Scott.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I have no idea.
Wow. Is this your first time doing the wine swirl thing?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I've done this many times.
Okay. And you've poured it on yourself many times.
Yes, I have. I try and wear a red shirt or a dark shirt at least when I have red
Yeah.
wine I'm tasting. But
Well, you know, sometimes I'll wear a white shirt just to test myself to see I can make it through the day, and I've been pretty good. But
Yeah.
but I'll, you know, one little second, and
there's a great product called Wine Away. No
Yeah.
commercial intent here, but Wine Away is great because it has the enzymes that eat away at that color and that stain, and just kind of watch it go away.
yeah.
I once had a white shirt on, and I went one of these things, and it was like
Oh,
the classic kind of look of that stain, and the Wine Away took care of it pretty well. Yeah.
yeah. I did that once to a orange Giants shirt, and it just destroyed it.
Oh,
I couldn't. You couldn't pour that much wine away on it. Yeah, I totally tipped a full glass. I just hit it like I'm just sitting here like this, and I went boop, and it went ding, and it went everywhere. It was Didn't have that on film though. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Slow motion.
So the other thing about the Moscato is, I think it's a real versatile wine. It's a wine that if you're having sushi, if you're going to have Thai food, spicy appetizers that are kind of spicy, maybe I don't know, shrimp or something that you know.
Yeah, this is enough weight to really cross many different categories.
Yeah, so it can be a neat starter in your meal,
Absolutely.
and you know, with the summer here that I got burned out of today, but anyway, the summer that I didn't get today, but it's here. Damn it!
You sound burnt.
It made me so mad.
Yeah.
Just telling you, not happy. Yeah, with the summertime, it's kind of nice, refreshing wine to have out on the patio, or if you have a pool, or you know, you can put it in a cup and you're good to go.
It's very refreshing. I mean, just by itself, it's very refreshing. It doesn't
Yeah.
need the food with it, but it certainly
Yeah.
can stand up to the food.
Yeah, but again, if you had those spicy foods, I'm talking now to the red wine drinkers that are watching, and they're going, no, I hate white wine. I'm not going there. But really, if you put a red wine with the wrong food, it doesn't work at all.
That's true. That's
Even
true.
forget the heat of the day. It just flat out doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to cross over into some other areas. You know, don't be so snooty.
Well, plus sometimes you're with somebody who really enjoys white wine, and you can enjoy this too, even though you're a red wine drinker.
Yeah, you do
You
that.
get along better in that social
Is that right?
situation.
Well, I had a little Chardonnay the other day. My wife likes Chardonnay, and she got all happy, like, "Oh, I'm so happy you're having that with me," because I jump into the reds because I'm like you guys that are watching, going, "What are you talking about?" But it just seemed like the right thing, and then she was excited about it, so I gained.
You get
favor.
along well that way.
Yeah.
You can play well.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
And then she cooked me dinner, and that was good. So, and we had popcorn after dinner. So,
And this is an important memory for you, I can tell.
I just made up the back end of that. But anyway,
Okay.
So retail on that is $30. There's no discount, not needed. But yeah, that's a cool. Don't.
It is.
So if you have another way you can use a wine like this is if you've got guests coming over and then you know that they're kind of on the sweet side, you can get away with this and enjoy it yourself and have something to pour. So it becomes quite versatile in that way. Okay. Andrew's looking at me like, yeah, shut up. God, you just
Pour the next one, huh?
Hey, Butch, how'd you do there? Did your knife die on you? Holy smokes, look at that butcher job. Would you have an earthquake right about, look at that. Yeah, there was an earthquake. I saw it in the
Was there
news
one?
today. It was in Fremont,
Oh,
4 point something.
must have been fairly deep. I haven't really heard much discussion about
No, I didn't feel a thing.
it. No.
I have no idea. All right, so this is an unusual grape too that we don't see a lot of. 2012 Grenache Blanc from Deering Winery, Santa Barbara fruit. So those that are not familiar with California, that's about halfway down along the coast is a fabulous town. It's called Santa Barbara. In fact, if you ever get to the Bacara resort, right on the water, let me just tell you, very cool. I mean, like super cool.
Really upscale?
Yeah,
relaxed.
yeah. I mean,
Oh.
it's relatively affordable. I mean, it's not like it's $900 a night, but I mean, it's right on the ocean though. It's legit. And you can do spa treatments and all kinds of stuff, and the dinners are fabulous. And you sit out on this long patio area with the fire pits and the ocean's right there, and yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's about halfway down the coast. And you just don't see this grape.
Why
here.
don't we do a remote from there? What do you think?
Oh, I'm all over that.
Do they have Wi-Fi there? They do.
Oh, yes, they do.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because my wife has to do some work down there occasionally,
Oh.
and that's one of the places we stay at.
Perfect.
Wow, I like that.
Hey,
Woo,
that-
on
that
location.
works for me.
Oh, we could do that one right out by the pool, man. That would be like bad because they have these cabanas.
Why are you doing it by the pool?
Because it's kind of a cool
Is
background.
there like a beach there too, or not really?
Oh yeah. Oh sure. Yeah. There's
So
a
you
whole. Yeah, absolutely. A whole beach.
It's a good point about the pool. Why have the pool when you have?
It was kind of a neat background. It would be neat if we were shooting into a cabana and we're sitting in the cabana, with our wine. I mean, you're still not. Yeah, there is a beautiful ocean there. I mean, it is.
We'll shoot it from inside their wine cellar, which is down in the basement, real dark.
Yeah,
But that'll work.
That'll work. Yeah. No, that's.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't mind doing that. That'd be kind of cool. That's a Foley property, and we could integrate their wines and do a little taste. Well, that could be a fun.
I think it'd be
yeah,
great.
I like it now.
I'm all for that.
Well, my wife is down there right now, actually, down in Paso. She left today. They had freak rains in Paso, and it washed out a whole side of the building in the tasting room and stuff. And it's like this.
really?
They had like this, just like major league water issue that. I mean, it's July, people. Those of you that don't know, we don't get rain here typically from like March till the end of October.
Right.
So to have rain is really weird. And it was my oldest son, Scott, down in Southern California. I talked to him the other day. He said it was like 93 degrees and raining like a cats and dogs. It was like humid, super humid, which is really bizarre. We never did that. So it was like Florida weather, this stormy, kind of crazy. So anyway.
That's your
what
Cellars
is-
of
what? I don't
Cellars
know.
of Sonoma weather report here.
Well, here's a neat thing that these guys did on this wine too, which is nice. They took about 20% of it and barrel fermented it.
Oh, yeah.
neutral barrels, but barrel fermented it. That's what gives you that roundness on the
Yeah,
tongue.
and kind of a round smoothness.
Yeah,
to it,
it's not like a
creaminess.
Sauvignon Blanc
It's
where
much
it's
more
all
creamy.
up front.
Uh-huh.
This gives you that creamy roundness.
And yet, because it's neutral, which means it's a little older oak,
Yeah.
it's no longer imparting that heavy oak
Yeah.
tone to it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it still offers a little more creaminess
Yeah.
because of that aging within in the barrel.
So again, that's a wine that would hold up with lots of different food options, and I think you'd be rocking and rolling.
So it's called Camp 4?
They call it Camp Ford. That's the name of the vineyard in its location. Yeah, I don't have a clue. I don't know where that is, but
It's between 3 and 5,
oh, okay.
I'm
I knew it
thinking.
was somewhere like that.
maybe.
Yeah. So retail on that is 27. So $22.95 for the Cellar Club. Oh, and club members in the East Coast, I would say east of probably Colorado. Your shipment for this month is on the temperature controlled truck, and then it gets handed off to UPS. So if you're waiting for your shipment, just hang tough because it's going by truck, temperature control, because your weather's really goofy right now. You guys are hot all over the place. So
Which is to everybody's credit that they plugged into this club, because this club is careful about how that wine is delivered. to
yeah,
make sure it's
we
the way
guarantee
you
that
intend.
integrity of the wine, and I don't want to be replacing a bunch of wine. So we make sure that it goes on the temperature control. The West states, we don't have that issue. Even Nevada and Arizona, we use GSO overnight. So it goes on a truck with ice packs in it, and it drives overnight. They don't even stop. It goes all the way and then delivered that next day, and boom, good to go. So you don't have weather. Where you have problem with wine hitting weather is when it gets on the rail cars, because the ends get really hot.
Right.
And if you're just happen to have your package there, you're going to have heat issues. We did do a little experiment, not last week or maybe the week before, on some wine that had been with UPS for like 3 weeks. They were screwing around. They screwed the order up big time. Just drove it around and around and around in the warehouse, out, in and out. And when they sent the wine back, we opened them up. You could see there
Yes,
was,
right.
there was
I remember
obvious. You could see on the cork it had streaks on it. That's telling you the temperature issue. But the wine was fine.
Yeah, the wine was fine.
But the integrity of the wine is what got disturbed, and that means that it's probably not going to age like it should.
That's correct.
So if you're going to drink it right away, it's okay if it saw a little heat, unless it hit. The only other exception to that would be direct sunlight, because what that happens, it cooks the wine, and boy is that obvious.
Which
I've
is the
had that
term we
happen.
use, cooked.
Yeah,
Cooked wine.
it's
Right.
totally cooked, and you know it's cooked. But we didn't have any problem with the
No.
stuff that just got too much temperature.
Right. Now, if you had kept that, because the integrity of the cork now is defeated, you kept that will age pretty fast. It's almost like you've opened the bottle, punched the cork back in.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last a long time.
Yeah,
So-
you've ruined the integrity of the cork, so that becomes a problem.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So for the consumers that are watching and order wine, whether it's here or anywhere else, and you see maybe a little bit of juice at the top of the foil, or maybe it's protruding a little bit, that's an indicator
It
that it
lifts up.
saw heat. If you're going to drink the wine right away, first of all, I'd call the winery and let them know. But if you're going to drink it right away, drink it right away. And if it's okay, then no harm, no foul, everything's cool. If it's not right, call the winery back and say, nope, I opened it up, man, it's funky, it was just terrible. They will replace it and send you a new wine. Everyone will, if they don't ever buy from them again. It's just you have to guarantee that
It's
integrity.
pretty much a standard, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I heard somebody came in the other day and said that they were somewhere and they wouldn't replace it. It was a wine shop or something. They wouldn't, at the wine shop wouldn't do that. That's the wrong, wine shop owners, you're being really stupid. Don't do that.
Now, I used to run a wine shop in Chicago, and somebody brought in a note saying they would like to get some more of that Chardonnay that looks like chocolate milk. It's really brown. And I said, well, that's interesting. What did that smell like? It was really good. They said, it's really good. It's almost like sherry. I just, can I get some of that? I said, yeah, I'll go over to
Yeah.
the sherry department and get you some. But what it was is, I said, where did you keep that? He said, safe in my kitchen, right above the stove. How long did you keep it there? About 3 years.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so they've created their own sherry, I guess, in
Sherry,
the process.
wow.
So they
So
did
you-
buy the sherry, they did like the sherry.
Oh, okay. But not the Chardonnay.
So wine not held properly
Yeah.
by somebody who's bought it and coming back maybe 3 or 4 years later and telling me that story, I might not necessarily want to replace that bottle.
No.
Instead, I'll sell you the sherry.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, there's some etiquette issues you gotta, and that lends itself to when you go to a restaurant too. In my belief, you order a bottle of wine in a restaurant, and they open it, and it's not flawed, it's not corked, there's nothing wrong with it, but you just don't like it, that's not a bottle that you're taking back. That's not a bottle you're sending back. Do not do that. That's not the right etiquette.
Some of them will do that out of courtesy, but that's not the thing you want.
Now, a glass of wine, different, but in a bottle of wine, no. You just can't.
Consider
if
it a
it's not-
learning experience, right? You now
Yeah.
know that that's something.
Just don't do it. Just choke it down and move on. You know better
Well,
next time. Don't
say it
buy
that
it.
way too. if you want.
Yeah, you just can't.
I can't see myself walking up saying, just choke it down, and then next time we'll get you something different.
Well, that's what I told somebody the other day. When there's just choke it down. No. Don't be such a wimp. What's wrong with you? Can't take a wine you don't like. What's the big damn deal? So anyway, good etiquette. It's important. All right, so the crossover now is into a little bit of red wine. Wines made by red grapes, in this case, Pinot Noir. This is James' family. There is just none of this. This is like, all right, here's the deal. It's 2013. It's right from their property. It's made from Pinot Noir. Retail on that is 18. You can buy this for $12.60, but you don't have very much of this, do you, Andrew?
No.
Like-
2 cases.
Oh, is there 2 cases? And then that's it. 3 bottles or more, you get 30% off on this wine, and that's it, then that's gone. So you need to get with the program if you want this. Come in or order it. I think it's pouring fabulous. 13 was a great vintage year, right? Wouldn't you say? I mean, I
Yes.
think they got better as what we've seen so far. 12 was magnificent, a remarkable vintage. 13 even better, and then
Pretty
I
nose,
think
pretty
14.
nose on this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So to make rosé, pretty simple. You're just pulling the skins off pretty fast. That's a really light salmon color. You'll see as we go through these, they're going to get considerably darker. But that just means that you.
And you chose that on purpose that way, right? So,
Well, I didn't actually put it on the sheet here in the right order because we're going to do the Deering first, then the Bonneau.
okay.
You know,
So this is 2013.
2013, all made from Pinot Noir. There's no barrel fermentation, none of that. It's all stainless steel. Nice and crisp. But again, this is a wine that becomes quite versatile in your food preparation. So don't be so rigid and go, I only drink meh. No, you don't. You like rosé. Rosé is cool. You have no
Well,
problem.
yeah, it has a lot of the red wine character, but it has kind of the refreshment of the white wine at the same time because you've chilled it down. Great for summertime.
Oh, well, yeah, out by the pool. And I tell the story before, but I'll tell you again. On my days off, which tomorrow is my day off, yay, and Thursday, yay. Of course, there's no day off. I work all freaking day long. But then I get out of the house, and I usually go wine tasting. And I go to different wineries. And when I go out, this is
That
what
is
I'm,
tough work. Oh, that's your
yeah,
day
that's
off.
my day off. I mean, I'm working.
Obviously.
If I go in and I have to taste somebody's wine, I'm working.
Of course.
Right?
I understand. Now, the IRS will be calling asking the same question, but
Well, they can come with me if they want. What the hell do you think I'm
probably
doing?
will. The fact is, they're probably over there already.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Yeah, no, I look for the rosés because I'm a big rosé fan. I mean, I dig the wine. I use it all year round. I don't care, but in the summer, no question. If I'm sitting out by the pool, that's gonna be in my Govino glass. It's the only time I'll switch from glass to a plastic if I use the Govino thing. Only because it has the thumb thing. Becomes
You
real
like that?
steady. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't have, this doesn't have.
You know, they were able to patent that glass because they had that
The thumb
in there.
thing?
That made it unique. And they were able to patent
Okay, well, I think it, yeah. You didn't know that. You learned it tonight. TV Tuesday Live taught you. Gosh, amazing. Yeah, so outside by the pool, out by the patio, at the ocean, rosés like hip. But with, but again, spicy foods, salmon, you can do salmon. You can do, if you're doing appetizers with salmon and it's cooked but it's cold.
Right.
Right? That would be a nice pairing. That would work just dandy.
So you're matching the color, the salmon color to the salmon.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes right along with that.
It
Yeah.
tends to be true. I mean, it
Yeah,
tends to be true.
yeah. Any of those fish would be excellent. Sushi, no problem. Spicy sushi, what did I say? That was
Hide away from that. Susie.
sushi. Yeah. I only had like 2 sips. I'm not sitting home all day drinking wine. I'm just telling you. No, I'm just telling you. Yeah, if you had some spicy sushi,
That would
I can't even say
yeah.
it. That stuff.
We know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
No, the spiciness, and with this here, it's not heavy alcohol, so it's not going to get in the way.
I didn't even see the alcohol. What is it? 12? No, can't be.
Andrew's
I bet it's
checking now.
13. I bet it's 13.5. 14. No, 13.
41 is pretty hot. So the point
Didn't
is,
show hot.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because
No.
you know what? It's really stepping forward in the taste profile too. So it's pretty much hiding that.
Yeah, I'm totally digging that. And there's not much of this left. There's like a case and a half, and then that's gone forever. It's not a wine that I would think, you're not really aging it for any length of time, but you certainly could get, a year out of it if you needed to or more. And then the other scenario, if you ever go a little long, and we'll talk about this more a little bit later when we unveil the sangria. You can throw this in sangria all day long.
Oh, sure.
So if you did go too long on a wine, put that in a box. That's what you want to do with your sangria.
Absolutely, right.
You want quality wine, but you don't care if it's oxidized. Has no impact whatsoever on it. I'm just telling you. So, and this is a great buy at $12.60. I mean, if you don't buy 3, you're not thinking clear. I mean, that's.
So that's a special price.
Yeah, that's special price, 3 or more, $12.60 till it's gone. And there's some over there, and there's another box somewhere, and then that's it. Oh, there's some over there. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18, 23. The 23 bottles
In this world.
minus that one that's over. Okay,
So we have a
so,
whopping 30 bottles in existence. Right.
but this is the time of the year you want it, so rock and roll, man.
Nice.
Stock up on that sucker. Now, this is Deering Winery. This is their 2013. It's made from Pinot. The Pinot for this came from the Rocchioli vineyard,
Oh.
which
So-
isn't bad.
No, I
Doesn't
think that
suck.
that name works real well
Yeah,
in the world of wine.
yeah, that works quite well.
Now, I've noticed this has a screw cap, and do all
Oh.
so far have all of them had a screw cap? I
No,
didn't
no,
notice.
Just the
No.
last two.
Just the last two.
Just the
okay.
last 2 that we're doing.
It doesn't hurt.
No, don't be put out by seeing a screw cap. When you see a screw cap, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a crappy wine.
It probably means though it's the way the winemaker intended it to be because it will
And
have
that's-
certainly a better shot at that.
Yeah.
More consistency.
Yeah. And for me, it's a convenience issue. I mean, that's my big deal. It's a convenience. I'm looking to open the damn thing, and again, I've got lots of openers. We keep talking about this, but it happened to me the other day again.
What'd you do?
I couldn't find a freaking opener anywhere.
Wow. See? You need one
And
of
that
those,
just pisses
in
me
case of
off.
emergency, break glass, and always put one in there, right?
Hi guys. So yeah, that just like freaked me out
That
again.
happens to me all the time.
And I kept flashing on. Oh my God, I really need. I don't know what the hell I need to do, but I don't ever have an.
I go out and buy a dozen of them, put them in every corner I can think of. And I know somewhere there's going to be one of those secret hiding spots.
And I was at my buddy's house, Russ's house, and I couldn't find one at his house the other day. And I kept
Did he
thinking
know?
about
Did he know you were there? I mean, did you like
Oh, yeah.
slide through a window or something?
Yeah, no, he was
Oh, okay.
no, I was scheduled to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
The timing issue.
Oh, I understand.
But no opener. I just wanted to go, what the hell is wrong with this?
I could see him coming back and saying, "Somebody's pilfered through my house. Who was that?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That's pretty. That's a pretty wine.
Well, yeah. And that's the salmon color too.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a little darker, but it's a salmon color. So with your salmon, but
It's stepping forward more than that. It doesn't have to be.
I'm a rose nut, man. I just dig that. That's a grape I really like.
Uh-huh.
And I've had some Grenache in the rosé, and I like that a lot.
You're talking about no, not a Grenache Blanc, but actually
A Grenache, red
Grenache
grape,
is
yeah.
a red grape by
Yeah.
itself. The
Yeah.
Grenache Blanc we had earlier is actually a white grape. So it just happens to be from the same kind of clone. But it's so the Grenache Blanc we had done as a white wine, obviously, because you can't make a red wine. The skins were not going to let that
Yeah,
happen.
right.
So as we step forward here, we're starting to see more and more color, or the same kind of color here, which comes from the skins, very little contact in the skins. But it seems to me like these last two have really stepped forward in terms of the taste profile. They're speaking louder, and
Yes.
that gives you a chance to put some heavier food against that. And especially when it's summertime, you want it to be a refreshing experience. And we all grew up having that cold stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you know,
so-
if you were having chicken with a nice barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
I don't have any issue with that.
Right,
I
agree.
really don't.
I agree. Yeah.
And so, don't be wimpy. Don't be wimpy. Trust me. You know, read the label. For those of you that are tuned in from other parts of the country, what I want you to get is, if you're not buying it from us, if you're buying it just in your local market, narrow down the search of where that fruit came from. And you can do that from the label. The label tells you everything. If it says Russian River or Alexander Valley or one appellation, you know you got a better shot that's probably going to be a better wine than if it just says California on the label.
Right. Okay.
Or if you're in New York and it says, I don't know, Finger Lakes.
Well, Finger Lakes is a specific AVA.
Is that an AVA?
Yeah, that's an AVA.
Okay,
Definitely
so
AVA.
that's wrong. If
But
it's
you
just
can have
in
New York.
then
Yeah.
could be from,
Anywhere in New York.
well, it could be from
be-
Guido's property.
Well, Guido also has a winery in like Manhattan or something.
Yeah.
And he grew it upstairs above the up where they have the clothing hanging to dry outside.
Yeah,
or
where he
something,
grows
right?
his pot. He grows his pot up there
Oh,
with the
okay.
lights and the, yeah.
I didn't know
that's-
Guido was into that.
Yes, I know,
Is he?
of course he
Okay.
is, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, someday I'll tell you a story about Guido that we met in, we met him in Boston. And we went, with my wife, she was working for Gallo at the time, and they were doing an event there, and we stayed, and we went down to the Italian section, and we went to this bar, and this guy was in the bar, and it was hilarious. It was like out of a movie, man. Oh yeah, Guido. It was he was, he was behind the bar, and he's going, yeah, I just got out of jail the other day because I sold too much marijuana and I got busted. I had to, and he goes, yeah, my uncle owns the place. His limo's right out there. And he comes in all the time and goes in the back over there. Yeah, and he goes, you know, and he said, you know, I'm gonna whack you. And he goes, I don't know if he was gonna kill me or just hit me or what, you know. Anyway, so we had this whole. His family owned the entire street. every single business was owned by a family member. I swear to you, it was.
Was that over at Guido Avenue? Was that?
I'm just telling you, I've never been there in my life. And we sat at the bar and thought, I'm not sure if I'm safe here. Because if he gets whacked, that may not be a hit. That may be a real hit. I don't want to be in the middle of a gunfight, you know. So anyway, yeah. So I told you the story. Then, so now you
You'll
know.
have to tell us one day. Oh wait, we did that. And that came out of a rosé tasting, that Guido story?
Yeah.
Really interesting how we kind of
Yeah.
head around.
Actually, I made up the name Guido.
Right.
I have
We
to be-
understand.
yeah.
Because we don't remember.
His real name was Joey. His real name was Joey. Yeah, I'm Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Uncle Al's out there in the car right there, in the Cadillac out there. Yeah. He's gonna. It was real Boston, man. It was like the legit. That was like in a movie. It was cooler now.
You could probably play in Vegas and do a whole one-man show.
No,
Pinstripe?
but we did go to, the question was there a pinstripe suit? No, but we did go to another bar, and we went to this other bar, and we walk in the door, and in the back, that was Guido. In the back with a fedora hat and a pinstripe suit was
Yeah,
the
but
owner.
yeah,
He had a hanky and all that. And he was in the back, and he was doing this. You want to rip me off? I could shoot you from here. I'm looking at the whole room. It was hilarious. I'm going, wow, it's the Godfather's in the corner, man. What a trip, man. Yeah, I was like some weird tourist. This guy, can you leave now? We've had enough of you weirdo tourists.
I like it.
Yeah, no. I really like Boston. I thought that's cool. We went to Connecticut. That didn't do anything for me.
Well, the Boston cream pie is great, but the Connecticut cream pie doesn't
Yeah.
really work, does it?
Yeah, that didn't. But Boston was cool because the people were real.
So how often do you get to Boston?
I don't, but I'm going to go this year because my nephew, as you know, is the punter for New England Patriots, and we're going to go to the game, one of the games a home game, and stay with Ryan and the football players, which will be really cool, and that's in like Foxborough, which is all by that whole little area.
Wow.
So yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, not a big fan of I didn't like Connecticut. The people were all over themselves. It wasn't cool.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a neat area, but yeah, they were full of themselves. I'm like, yeah, I bet those Boston guys beat them up all the time.
Okay, more violence.
Yeah, more violence. All right, put
All right,
that away.
put this away.
This is Bono. This is their 2000. Again, all three of these are 13s. See, I never planned that. It just happened that way. This is a rosé of Syrah, thus the color, because that's a much darker
It
skin
is.
wine. So, whoa, yeah, look at that. This is from Monterey, which it's another wonderful wine region. That's about maybe 2/3 of the way to Santa Barbara.
A pretty area too.
Really pretty. The uber rich people live there, boy. You're not screwing around there. You better bring you got to make sure you bring your money. Monterey's expensive.
There's some creaminess on this one too.
Yeah. Now I've noticed before that he had a little residual sugar in one of the
Yeah.
other ones. Is there residual sugar in that?
I believe there is,
Where is
but
it?
it doesn't say that.
Oh, okay. I think his other one maybe had the residual.
Definitely the fruit is there.
Now, this has a bigger mouthfeel. So, you wimpies out there that are only red wine drinkers, you might dig this because it's got a little structure to it.
Yeah.
You notice it right away. It's not light like the other ones were. It's still refreshing and dry, but it's not. It's got some backbone. There's
You know, so many rosés really don't talk to you through the nose at all, but this one you can start sensing it way
Yeah.
up high.
Yeah.
So this one's really, really out there.
I forgot to say, one of the things that we're going to do it next week. We had talked about it, and I didn't integrate it tonight. We had too many things going on. We're going to show you the difference between this glass and a Pinot or your
In the bowl,
Burgundy or Burgundy glass.
Right.
And how different the wines are. So we're going to do that as we may integrate it. We have Moondance cellars that should be, if everything goes fine, they'll be approved this week, and next week we can.
Nothing
open
can
with that.
possibly go wrong, right?
I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go there. No. So anyway, and then we'll do that with their wines. We'll do that with their. He's got a big cab. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
That would really. And the Pinot. That was a dramatic
It
demonstration.
made a big difference. So we'll talk about why that happens and how you may not have the same glassware, how you can do that same thing and explore that. We'll do that. Is that next week?
We'll do that next week.
Next
Yeah,
week.
with their wines, because I think they'll be ready to go. Karina, can you tell everybody what's going on this weekend? This weekend we've got, on Thursday, if you haven't seen Joe Valley's a new musician in the room. Joe Valley rocks the house, man. This guy has got it going. So Joe Valley on Thursday in the house, 7:30 to 10:30. Gotta love that, without a doubt. Great musician. He's been.
Well, we've all heard of Joe Montagna, and then you got Joe Valley.
Yeah.
It sounds like some kind of a connection there. I don't know.
No, not at all. No.
No? Really? Wow.
No, but he's a great musician. You'll like him a lot. So come down and support him. And then we've got Ricky. No, Peter's on Saturday. Okay. Ricky Allen Ray on Friday night. Come down and see Ricky for your blues and rock and roll. And then, of course, the Reverend. And now I have to qualify because I've been chastised about qualifying. The Reverend John Pita in the house. Now, I only say that because he has his own church, but he's not church music.
Oh, okay.
But in church he does sing rock and roll, but he does Beatles.
I'm confused. So
I know. He's a pastor, so you gotta love that.
Yeah.
Young man with a couple kids, a beautiful wife. But he sings Beatles, John Mayer, you name it, John does that.
Yeah.
Great show, entertaining, very fun. So 3 nights of music, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Don't miss it. Come down 7:30 to 10:30. Late night food, if you need food, we've got our gourmet grilled cheese. Nobody has gourmet grilled cheese like we do. It rocks.
Well, especially with the selection of wine.
Oh yeah.
Pair it with.
Oh, it's.
And you've tested those pairings. too.
Yes, yeah.
Do you offer those?
We do. We have a food and wine pairing that you can do. It's $35 and includes 4 wines and 4 grilled cheese sandwiches, smaller ones.
Yeah.
And they're paired up beautiful. So you have a brie, you have a tuna salad, you have a Hawaiian, which is Canadian bacon, pineapple, and jack and cheddar cheese on sourdough. And then you have a blue cheese, and I'm not a blue cheese guy, but I'm telling you, the pairing's so damn good, I can have that, and it won't freak me out.
That's great. That's great.
So that's a great food and wine pairing. You need to make reservations for that. Or if you come in the tasting room and you want to buy one of the sandwiches, we have the wine to pair up with it. So your glass of wine should match, and we can match that up perfectly for you. And
That's
they're
great.
nice pairing. So. All right, so this rosé, 18 retail, 15.30 for Cellar Club. And if you're not a Cellar Club member, stay retail and buy lots of wine from me. I like that, no problem. But if you want to save a few bucks, join the club. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that one.
And that's made by
That's really,
Syrah,
really
so
good.
that it climbs up that ladder.
It does.
Okay. All right, so I thought it would be nice that we introduced all these cool, thank you, all these cool wines that are for the summer. And so to recap, you had the dry Moscato, you had a Grenache Blanc, we had 3 rosés, one from James family from their Russian River property, that's on special, 3 or more, 30% off. And then you had Deering Winery with their rosé from the Rocchioli Vineyard, and then the rosé from Bonneau Wines, which is made from Syrah, which
like
is
it,
a little
yeah.
bigger mouthfeel,
It
which
is.
I'm very hip about, like it a lot. And then I thought, well, why don't we finish with a big red wine? Because I'm a red wine guy too, and people always ask me, you know, what wine do you like? Look, if you tied me down and put me on a desert island and said, it's not about food, dummy, it's all about wine, pick, I'm probably going to a pretty big red. So I'm gonna do that. So I thought it'd be fun to roll the dice tonight. And I've got some dice people right down there. Over here. I have some new wine club members, and we want to roll the dice. And whatever that number is, you got to tell us. And we marked bottles over here, and that's what we're gonna have.
So he's
make
kissing
sure.
the dice. All right.
Look at that pirate. Think pirate. Think pirate. Go pirate. Pirate. We don't pour the pirate that often, so it's kind of a. Oh man, this girl's been to. Wow, you've been to Vegas. Holy Toledo.
Wow, that went right down the table.
Wow, where
All
are you
along the
guys
bar.
from? Like Tahoe or something? Holy smokes.
And the answer is
Yeah, wow.
9.
What was it? He didn't have all the numbers. Roll again. It's not one of the numbers. That's okay.
It's
We're
a
rolling.
non-number.
All right, I love it. They're not all hot, so you got to give us the wow.
You reached an unworking number.
It's a happy day. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh. Whoa. Wow.
Okay,
Oh,
it
4.
flew everywhere. Seven.
Wow. Ooh. Wow, she's got that 9 down.
There's a lot
Ooh.
of tension here in the house. Have to roll again. What?
Wow. Well, he didn't have. Well, yeah, he didn't. Well, he didn't put 11 bottles up for auction here.
He needs to put like 2 numbers on each bottle. 10 is. 10 is. We will see.
You're the one who marked the bottles, for gosh sakes. You should know the numbers. Bono Cab.
Cab.
All right. Cabernet Sauvignon. Nice finish on that. Nice. All right.
Which would be a good segue into that. Let's have that.
Yeah. Yes. Did you have a question? Yes. Yes. Well, it gives you the illusion of this big mouthfeel because of the
fruity.
grape.
Definitely
yeah,
fruity.
there's definitely fruit.
Natural fruit.
All right, it's 2010 Sonoma Valley Cabernet Sauvignon from Bonneau Wines, 22 months French oak. Retail on that is I want to say, I don't even know,
Like
$40.
40, 45, yeah, 42,
40 million.
40 million. And then you go to, at that point, then you just go to Vegas and you put all in
Yeah,
red.
yeah, you go.
Put all in red.
Hoo ya baby.
Yeah, that's Cabernet for you.
That's Cab all day. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's some Cabernet Sauvignon. So after all those, lighter wines, boom, you finish with the big. But that's what you want to do in your meal plan. Don't get all caught up with, I just want to start with a red wine. No, be a little more versatile. Start to go in with a little bit and work your way through. Because if you were having the ribeye, you're all over that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In fact, one of the cool things that we're going to do, and that you guys can do if you follow along and you actually pay attention to what I keep preaching to you, on Friday, we're going to have dinner together, And
I didn't know that.
yeah, yes you do.
Did somebody arrange that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we're gonna
that-
have dinner with Brad and
Oh, there's a
at my house.
drive-through. You set up a little drive-through thing.
yeah. Well, no, we're gonna have dinner. But what we did was
Oh, I think
we,
I know.
we
I remember this now.
oh now you're remembering. Okay, good.
Okay.
Brad brought out 05, 06, 07 Hyde Vineyard, which is the next step up from this wine.
Right.
And we're gonna have that with steaks. Plus, he's got an 05 Meritage
Uh-huh.
from Bono Wines.
Okay.
And that is gonna be part of our dinner plan. So that's
Excellent.
gonna be like cool. So then you're tasting
How many
five
vintages
through-
now? So you got
five, 6, 7.
7.
And then the Epos is a 2005.
All right, so.
So we're gonna have that with steaks, and I'm just telling you, that's a neat presentation.
These are the last 3, and then this is sold out.
Ooh.
Oh, is that the really?
That's it.
We just
Wow.
drank.
You're on the
25%
edge. You're on
of
the edge.
25% of the inventory just went away. That means 3 bottles left.
Raise the price. Come on, raise the price. It's all about supply and demand. Demand is way more than the supply. No?
Otherwise,
Okay.
you're rolling the dice.
Yeah. And you don't want to just roll the dice.
No.
No. So, beautiful cab. But my point in telling you about the dinner is when you get these wines, wine club members that are tuned in and watching, accumulate the different verticals because that's a neat dinner party.
It is.
I mean, that's going to be phenomenal to taste 3 years worth of wine side by side. I mean, that's going to be like cool.
And it's important now what is the meal itself? Is it like chicken or?
No. We're going to do. We
steak.
moved it to steaks.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Unless
So-
you're a veggie thing,
Well,
then
yeah.
you're out.
No,
Then you're just kind of on
that
your.
doesn't work.
No.
That doesn't work.
If you're veggie thing, you're doing
And so you need to teach me about
red peppers.
the aging of steaks. I mean, you can have steak that's been aged quite a bit too. Do you think that will help in the pairing of the wines that are a little older?
Well, you know, those
I
are
don't
going to
know
be
about
those are going to be pretty big. Like, 05 was a pretty good vintage. But I have to tell you, I am a big 06 lover.
Are you?
And
That's a little rounder style.
yeah,
Not
the
as
5 and the 7 were the ones they really pushed and said, man, now
Yeah.
that's a 20-year wine. But I'm telling you, that 6 rocks the house, man. 6 is held up pretty damn good. We'll find out on Friday,
Side
and
by
we'll let you
side.
know next week. That's pretty good.
You'll be rubbing that in next week, is it?
Yeah, yeah. So, Karina, show them the picture of lobster lunch, because you got one more shot on lobster lunch. You need to get your butt in gear, call us, and you got to make reservations by tomorrow. If you don't do it by tomorrow, the game is over. You'll just see the video, and we'll have fun, and then that'll be the end of it. The event's on Saturday from 1 to 4. You can buy you need to buy the tickets over the phone. Call us 707-578-1826, 707-578-1826.
Operator standing by.
Operators are standing by. Oh, the phones are ringing. It's just going crazy. Oh my God. We're going to be sold out in 10 minutes. That's a nice cab. Part of this wine, didn't part of this come from the Ty Caton vineyard that right below the Monte Rosso?
Yourself.
Yeah. That's
But I could be wrong.
No, I think it did.
I think it is.
All right. All right.
He's doing a mixture of Coopers here too. He's got 3 different Coopers.
3 different Coopers on that?
On that one. Yeah.
That changes the way you blend it, too.
Well, it really
right?
is, because you're not just blending what the fruit is, but as you put in the
Yeah.
barrels, you
Yeah.
begin to see different characteristics step forward. And that allows for ageability because through the blending of this, you have more complex wine, but it keeps changing in different ways. So we're planning ahead.
All right, so we've gone through the white wines, we've gone through the rosé, we picked and rolled the dice from our new wine club members, rolled the dice, and came up with this cab. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is the stuff. Okay? This, imagine if I dropped that, how funny would that have been? So this is sangria. Now don't freak out, those of you who go, oh, I don't like sweet wine. First of all, formula on this, it's on the website, but I'll tell you, it's really simple. It's lemon, lime, orange. We've got strawberries in there, and pineapple.
Oh.
And I buy a real pineapple and slice it up because I think that's a lot fresher.
Yeah.
If you're cheap and you want to use a can, don't do this. Just buy a pineapple.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you cut all that up, except for the strawberries. Keep them for the next day. You put all that in, and then you put in all your wines. And in here I've got white wine, red wine, Cab, Pinot, anything, doesn't matter. Oxidation doesn't mean a thing. Quality of the fruit, though, does make. Put in nice wine. Don't cook with garbage wine. You're out of your freaking mind. Use nice juice, and it'll make a much better batch. And then the next day, cut up your strawberries and put them in, because the reason you don't want to put them in overnight, because they soak up all the alcohol and all the juice, and they get kind of soggy and weird looking, and they don't do what you want them to do. So
Okay.
strawberries, and then that way they'll float to the top. You can use them as a garnish on your, right? And then you add diet ginger ale.
Diet.
Not the regular.
Because?
You need to, because if you use the regular, it's too sweet. The diet's not as sweet, so we think it worked better. And then a splash of lemonade in there. A splash. Like, like you're measuring and you're going, I'm measuring, you go, woo, that's a splash.
Okay.
Go, woo, that's a splash. Just go like that. Do it like,
Really?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
your splash might be bigger than mine. And buy a little thing like this. These are easy to find. These are kind of cool. And that's the way you want to. And don't put ice inside the container. Hello?
It's basically watering it down, right?
Yeah, like hello. Set it in a thing with ice, that's fine, but don't put the ice in there. Hello? Like, hello? I just fell off the boat. I don't know what I'm doing. Do not put the ice in there. Now, if you have that cool thing that we talked about last week that they have at Roth, where it's a cylinder, and you put the ice in the cylinder and you lay that inside, yeah, cool. If you got something like that, absolutely, you can do that, but I haven't seen that for this scenario.
No contact with water,
Yeah.
basically. Okay.
Now, here's what's going to happen. The recipe calls for triple sec, but I'm thinking it's like bringing weenies to a weenie roast. What are you, nuts? Don't keep adding alcohol. This thing's fermenting. It's just getting like crazy hot. It's going to get nutty as you go on, day after day after day. It's going to get crazy. Now, if you don't drink it all in your city, what you do is, like day 3, you want to remove the rinds. Get the oranges out and squeeze them with a squeezer, and then get the rinds out of there, because that will make it a little bitter. And if it gets a little bitter, add more fruit and then add more wine. And what you can do is you can keep adding wine from your house and keep this. This will go a week. We did almost 2 weeks, and I just kept changing the stuff. It was crazy. But it got pretty potent. It was like, we're doing wine shots. Woo! So anyway.
That sounds great. We're going to taste that today?
We're going to do it right now.
All
We're going
right.
to do it right now. But I got to put it over here because, so you got to clean your glass.
All right. I can do that.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's pouring good. Don't freak out. It's going to pour good for like 5 seconds, and then it's going to be... They get clogged. They do get clogged. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
That's working. That's working.
Wow. Wow. That means I can get more. I thought it was dying on me. Okay. I can smell it from here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
totally legit. So Andrew, well, I mean, if you drop it, make sure you're on camera.
Yeah.
So follow Andrew, follow him on camera. Karina?
He's going to be pouring now.
Yeah, follow Andrew on camera while he pours for the...
Switching the camera too.
Go to camera 2. Thank you. Go to camera 2. That's fine.
Please, don't mind the unstable hand.
Clean
That's pretty.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you can call the sangria pretty, but I am.
I'm not having any problem with that.
Pretty
Now
darn.
you can serve this over ice if you want to serve it over ice.
That's, yeah. that
That's
makes
not
sense.
that's not unreasonable.
Make sure it's really chilled.
Yeah,
that
we
works.
we don't do that here because I don't have an ice machine.
Oh, okay.
But at home, you could certainly do that.
Yeah.
Or if you've got the little things where you can put the deal. Oh, you know what works is those. You know the ice cubes are made. They're plastic and they have the gel inside of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you freeze them, and you stick them in here, and they don't melt.
Right, right.
They don't put any water in there.
Yeah.
So those are perfect for this.
Yeah.
So. Right? Yahoo!
Plenty of fruit.
Oh, it's now this is as fruity as this is ever going to get. By tomorrow, after we load in a little more wine, the fruit's going to back off a little bit, and the wine's going to really jump out there. This is as fruity as you're going to get in this. But it's, yeah. But it'll kick your butt in a couple of days, right? Did we do a good on that? How good was that? Right? Is that like? And it's not overly sweet. It's not that syrupy sweet at all. It's,
People are enjoying it over there.
Yeah.
I can see.
yeah. All right. So let me recap on. Yeah, I know she hates that. So let me recap what we did. We did Moscato Azul, which is from La Serena. That's the dry Moscato.
2012.
20, was it 12? Yeah, I guess it was. 2012 Grenache Blanc from Deering Winery.
Both are white wines.
Excellent. And then 2013, it says Stony Point Vineyard, but it's really Russian River from James Family. Rosé, that's at 30% off on 3 or more.
And that varietal is
Pinot.
Pinot.
And then the Russian River 2013 from Deering Rosé.
Also a Pinot.
Also Pinot from the Rocchioli Vineyard, so nice fruit.
Yes.
And then Bonneau, 2013 Monterey is the location of the fruit from Syrah. It's a different animal.
Syrah.
And then we rolled the dice, and we rolled the dice, and what do we get? We get Bonneau, Cabernet Sauvignon, 2 thumbs up on that one. And then we finish with sangria, and who makes better sangria than me? Nobody.
I'd say that's true.
So if you want the recipe, go to the website, and you'll be able to look on recipes and see it in there. That's pretty cool, and do it exactly the way we like. Don't modify it, or you'll screw it all up. I want to thank you guys for drinking the wine. That's what we're here for. Thank you for drinking the wine. I want to thank Andrew for pouring and making sure everyone's doing it. I want to thank Karina for keeping us on track and on camera. For Dave for being the geek and our newest wine club members right over here that rolled the dice tonight. Rolled the dice, and welcome to Cellars of Sonoma. This is where you discover wine, one sip at a time here at Cellars of Sonoma. Thanks. I know I'm looking over here and I can see Karina's going, I'm not ready.
She's working
Thanks.
on it. So
Next week, we're going to show you the difference between a large glass and a small, and we will introduce Moondance Cellars will be on the house next week.
All
I
right.
can just assure you.
A new vintner.
We'll see you.
New vintner.
Yep, new vintner. Bye for now.